Let's be honest for a second. If shame, pressure, or guilt actually worked, you'd be the most productive person on the planet. But if you're watching this, you're most likely someone who tries really hard. You care, you want to do better, and yet you keep running into walls. I want to show you what most people don't understand about motivation, especially if you're someone who's been operating under pressure your whole life. Because true sustainable motivation doesn't come from fear. It comes from safety, from desire, from ownership. That's the heart of intrinsic motivation. And for most of us, it was trained out of us a long time ago. Let's talk about why that happened and how to get it back. So most people tend to think of motivation in one of two ways. Either it's a feeling that magically appears when you get inspired, or it's some kind of force you have to push yourself to find, like a muscle you must flex or a switch you need to flip. But in reality, motivation isn't some kind of force or a feeling either. It's a process. It's an ongoing relationship between your mind and body and everything in between. It's more like a dance than a tug of war. Think of motivation as a relationship between three things. Firstly, what you want. This isn't about a vague idea of a goal like I want to be productive. It's a specific, meaningful desire that pulls you forward. It could be a big picture vision, a value you want to live by, or even a small curiosity that sparks your interest. Motivation always starts with something that matters to you personally. If the what is missing or unclear, motivation cannot take root, not true motivation. Second, why it matters. This is the meaning or purpose behind what you want. It's the emotional charge that makes that desire compelling. When you know why something matters, how it connects to your identity, your values, or the impact you want to have, it transforms a simple task into something worth your effort, something you choose to do, not something you have to do. Motivation isn't just about ticking boxes or doing it because you should do it. It's about feeling like your actions are aligned with who you want to be. And third, whether you believe you can move toward it. This is a critically overlooked, misunderstood component. If you don't believe that progress is possible or the desired outcome is possible, whether because of past failures, self-doubt, or external obstacles, motivation stalls. This is about confidence, your sense of agency, and the hope that your effort will lead somewhere. When these three parts connect, clear desire, meaningful purpose, and confident agency, motivation flows naturally. It's not a brute force push. It's a gentle but persistent pull, like a current guiding you forward. And here's another thing. Motivation is built on trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the process. Trust that your effort will matter and that you can handle whatever comes up along the way. If you have a terrible self-esteem and self-image, you're not going to trust yourself to be able to follow through toward that goal. And so when that trust breaks down because of shame or doubt, then motivation becomes unreliable. So if your will to do something keeps breaking down, it's a signal that something in the relationship between your desire, your why, and your belief in yourself needs attention. So you've probably heard the terms intrinsic and extrinsic motivation before, but let's just break them down clearly just for the sake of understanding. Extrinsic motivation is when you do something for an external reward or to avoid a consequence. So get the grade, avoid the punishment, win the approval, check the box. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is when you do something because it's meaningful, it's interesting, aligned, and enjoyable in and of itself. So for curiosity, for growth, for mastery, expression, or purpose. Think of sports or the arts. Although this kind of motivation can flow from everywhere, but that's a conversation for another day. So here's the problem. Most of us were raised in systems like school, traditional workplaces, old-fashioned parents that only reward extrinsic motivation. You're told what to do, when to do it, and what's good enough. You're praised for compliance and punished for exploration. Over time, this creates a warped relationship with effort. You learn to wait for pressure. You associate action with anxiety, and you lose touch with what you actually want. So here's where things get subtle. Pressure can create short-term action. It clearly has for you before, but not sustainable energy. When your nervous system feels threatened by deadlines, criticism, judgment, fear of failure, it switches into survival mode. Even if you get the task done, it doesn't feel good by any means. It just feels like the bare minimum. There's no satisfaction, no momentum. So eventually you start associating productivity with panic. Instead of feeling motivated, you feel dread. You avoid, you freeze, you beat yourself up. And then you try to force it again, because this is the only system you know. That cycle isn't laziness. It's self-protection, however twisted. If all these pieces are starting to come together for you and you're realizing how twisted your relationship with motivation really is, I want to share a free resource with you that can help to strengthen that self-trust muscle every single day. It's a set of simple, practical self-trust scripts to shift your inner dialogue away from doubt and toward confidence. You can use these scripts anytime you feel unsure or stuck or doubtful about your next steps. Just check the link in the description or comment trust and I'll share the link with you. It's a small but powerful tool to help you start trusting yourself more deeply, and it works really well alongside what we're talking about here. So to reconnect with intrinsic motivation, we need to make a few shifts. Give yourself permission to move at your own pace, to choose your own values, to experiment and make mistakes. Without permission, desire stays buried under fear. And instead of what's the right thing to do, ask what do I feel pulled toward? It doesn't have to be dramatic. It could be simple, like making your space feel better or learning something just because you want to. And then take back the steering wheel. Reconnect with the why behind your choices for everything from showering in the morning to brushing your teeth to cleaning at certain times of the week or the day. Not just the outcome, but the experience of why you're doing it. What matters to you about doing this? What does it allow you to do more of? The more you connect your actions to your values and desires, the more your brain starts to associate effort with meaning, not danger. So, according to self-determination theory, there are three main drivers of intrinsic motivation. So, autonomy. You need to feel like you chose the task. It wasn't put on you, like it belongs to you. Even if you didn't choose the obligation, like you were told to clean your room, you can still choose your relationship to it. And then competence. You must feel capable. This ties back to what we were saying earlier about believing your ability to actually do something. This is where small wins, progress tracking, and self-reflection comes in. And then relatedness. You need to feel connected to people, to a purpose, a community, to the impact of your efforts on the world, or who you are as a person, and then how you act in the world. If everything feels isolated and invisible, your motivation will dry up. So if you've been struggling with this, ask yourself these questions. Where do I feel powerless? Where do I feel incapable? And where do I feel disconnected and numb? Because solving that is the key to building sustainable motivation. If you've been trained to wait for pressure before you move, this work is terrifying. It's not about throwing out all structure and to-do lists and goals. I love to-do lists, I love goals, but it's also about teaching yourself how to want them, not need to do them, and letting desire become a safe guide, not a source of guilt. This is the heart of sustainable growth. Not punishment, not pressure, but permission, ownership, curiosity. If you're ready to move beyond this cycle, then I invite you to take the next step. I offer a personalized program designed to walk you through all of this from beginning to end, from the inside out, without relying on all of these systems that have held us up in the past but are now causing us to crumble as adults. Because the truth is, there's a specific type of person who struggles with this. And if you're not that person, you probably think that all of this is just a way to enable laziness. But if you're like me, and if you've stuck around this long, I bet you are like me, you have something called executive dysfunction, rooted in neurodivergence or trauma or a myriad of other things. And you genuinely cannot understand why you can't do the things you want to do. If you're ready to feel confident and clear and supported as you become the person you want to be, not pushed, then let's talk. Click the link below to book a free, low-pressure discovery call with me. And I seriously mean it's low pressure. It's for you to find out if I'm the right fit for you, just as much as it's for me to find out if you're the right fit for my program. Because I only want people who it's meant for, otherwise it's not going to help you. So book your call now. The link is in the description. And as always, stay in this corner of the internet as long as you need.